Hey everybody, Michael Sheena here. What we have is a 2010 Chrysler Town & Country Touring Edition, courtesy of Enterprise, while the body damage on our 08 Sienna gets fixed. So I thought I'd give you a little impression of what we've had here for the past week and what we think of the van. This van is one step up from the bottom of the Chrysler line. So it does add a few knickknacks to the feature mix. For example, it has both the power sliders and the power hatch. It's got the Sirius satellite radio, and you get the alloy wheels down there. I'm just going to give you a brief tour. This is the trunk well of the van. Couple notice, you might see there's only one latch point in the back here for these seats that I can find anyway. It's in my opinion, obviously, and I should have a couple. In this case, both these seats play well and they're able to fit in that point, but obviously having 2 points would have been handier. The other thing is, on the Sienna, when you pull down like this quickly, it automatically starts the power down function. But in this van, you have to press the button. The problem with that is, you know, for a tall guy such as me, you can't press it while you're just standing under here. You have to kind of press it from the side. Otherwise, you're going to get beamed because there's no way you're going to be able to back out in time. My wife also dislikes that feature. She much prefers the pull down feature. There is some funky logic to these power doors as well. You'll notice if I stop it right here on the Sienna, if I were to re-engage it, it would automatically, you know, go in the opposite direction as a power. But the logic on these is that once you stop the power either direction mid-cycle, it just powers off and says, you know what, I don't know what you want me to do. You got to take me in one direction or the other, and then I'll go back to power. Yeah, it's a little annoying feature, I think. I much prefer the power resume. Inside the van, all these surfaces here are hard to the touch. There's absolutely no soft plastic on the door armrest area for the door panels. The top of the dash is also hard. Of course, on the new 2011 Sienna, Toyota's gone back to a hard dash themselves. It's disappointing to see that, especially on these higher-end vans. I would like to see Chrysler separate itself from the Dodge by offering a more premium feel interior materials, and that might happen with the 2011 refresh. We'll see. They're all going to get better. Otherwise, the van's interior, this is the cloth model. It's supposed to come with the stain repellent feature, but this van came to me from Enterprise with some sort of brown substance, and I'm going to really hope that was chocolate. I just took some water and I wiped, and the chocolate, let's call it chocolate, went away, but it still left a little mark right there. I wasn't really happy about that. The Stow and Go is a very nice feature. We're very pleased with the Stow and Go. It's much better for us than the tumble forward. Some people do complain about the seat comfort in the middle row because these seats have to be of a firmer design because they're thinner in order to efficiently stow. But for us, with the child seats, it's no problem at all. It really creates a nice space, especially when you're getting the two kids in the back. Again, you're going to notice here, though, with this latch system, that there are only 2 latch points. And by using the belts, it's causing me to have to place them on the outboard positions, which is fine, but you'll notice how this seat in particular is leaning into one side because it's being tightened down from this point and then coming up here. It would be preferable, obviously, to have the latch so that I could anchor it from both ends, and it would, you know, prevent the seat from tipping to the side. This van also comes with the center console, as you can see here, with a kind of nice LED lighting. You can turn it on while you're driving there. I like it. I think the LED lighting gives it a technical, really bright, clean, airy look to it. This console is let down by this. It's supposed to be a soft release mechanism by, as you can see, this gear here, but it doesn't work on this particular one. On some of them it does. On some of them it doesn't. It's just kind of chintzy, and if it's doing this now, as you can see, you see this, it broke off here. It looks like whoever rented this van prior to me broke that piece off. If it's breaking now with 7,000 miles on it, what's going to happen? The kids do like the cool ambient green, blue-green lighting coming up here at night. That's a trick feature. It's a little bit like a limo. You know, it's kind of fun for the kids. I do notice, though, however, that this lighting combined with another light up here in the console gives a bad glare into the rear view mirror at night. I'm not really pleased about that. It really threw me for a loop when I was first driving this car because I couldn't see anything at all. I've since adjusted, but it's not the best design. The headliner material is nice. It's a woven design, and this is a step up from the Sienna. The Sienna still goes with that mouse fur material that is really old, and this is much hipper. They didn't do a really good job with this back here, I think, because when I got this van from Enterprise, it was lumpy. This weather stripping was lumpy. It hadn't been pressed down all the way. I pressed it down, but it's disappointing to see that kind of thing. It's not so much a build quality issue as it is just the way it was designed. These panels should conceal this a little bit better. Okay, so those are kind of my primary things. And really quickly, the Stone Go, as most of you probably know by now, goes in here. Now, the seat looks gnarly from its backside, but it's fine. So let's get to the driving of this vehicle, because obviously that's a huge piece of it. I find it to be a little rough. For example, shifting the automatic, this has got the 6-speed auto in it. You shift into drive and there's this nasty little clunk. It tends to lurch in between the gears a little bit. This has the mid-grade 3.8 V6. Only kicks out, I think, 197 horsepower. And it just feels rough at idle. The car, the wife noticed the car was shaking, and I noticed it as well. You could really feel a lot of vibration. It just feels very unrefined, and that is going to hopefully now be fixed with the 2011 refresh with the new powertrain lineup. Of course, being a base level model, you're only getting the manual controls here. You're not getting anything electronic, but it's good enough. Conversation mirror, of course, very popular now. This does come with the satellite radio. Really like that. Great for the kids, especially since we don't have any movies to play, since we don't have the movie option. Of course, if you did have the movie option in here, would be very nice to have. And Chrysler leads the way with the two real screens, as opposed to like a split screen in the new 2011 Sienna, which I'm not real pleased about. You know, you've got your typical glove box down here in the accessory glove box there. Again, you know, this is because it's a lower end model. It does have the smaller center console. I don't have a big problem with that. Overall, I find the van to handle just fine. It's not sporty like the Odyssey, but it's not as slushy as the Sienna that we have. It's pretty numb, but adequate. It does a decent job. My biggest gripes being the unrefined aspects of the powertrain, the really kind of subpar plastic materials used inside the cabin, and those would be my two biggest cautions to you. I'm also not impressed with the stain repellent fabric, which has proven to not be so repellent. There are also funny things, like if you look at this passenger seat belt, you see how it forms a nice barrier against cookies and crumbs and all that other kind of junk that's going to get in your vehicle. But on the driver's side, for some reason, there's a big gaping hole, and you just know you're going to get Cheetos and all that other garbage down there. I'm unclear as to why that cover can't come all the way up to here to seal that area off. It's a minor thing. It's not a big deal, but again, you kind of wonder what they were thinking. It does come with auto up-down mirrors on both windows on both sides of the vehicle, which is nice. I also like the A-pillar here. This is just hard plastic, but you know what? It's got the same woven design built into the mold. This is a case where it doesn't cost them any more to make it, but boy, sure does it look a lot better. So again, 2011 should fix a lot of these issues that we're having with this vehicle. Overall, I mean, the Stone Go is fabulous. I do find it overall to have less polish than its competitors. I would take this vehicle at a discount to the competitors, but you definitely want to check out the other folks out there making minivans and see how important the kind of things I'm talking about are to you. Just real final parting shots here. Here's the instrumentation, which I find fine. Again, I think Chrysler should just lead the way with higher end models. Leave the lower end stuff to Dodge. Thanks, and have fun.